All right, we're live on YouTube.
Yo, what's going on, AFR fam? Look who's back right here. Back from Washington State, Seattle Mariners baseball country. Ben, one of our AFR founders, the AFR founder, also founder of For the Fun of the Hobby. If you haven't checked him out yet, soon to be a sponsor of the show. But episode 68. Chase, how you doing over there across the Pennsylvania pond?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to be back with all of us together. Back on another action-packed episode.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Ben, what do we got on tap tonight? We have a good bit to talk about. I mean, we're in the midst of the NBA and NHL finals. This is like an underrated part, I feel like, of the sports year. Like the fall, October time is probably, we always talk about number one. Obviously, March with March Madness is huge as well. But right now, I mean, June, baseball starts really ramping up. It feels like baseball season with it being the summertime. But then you got the NHL and NBA finals with a splash of basically every other sport as well, except for football. So,
yeah, and shout out to Instagram, who's just joining us right now. Had a little technical difficulties there, but Instagram coming in a little bit in the caboose. Yeah, it's a fun time. We got two finals, and we got in the middle of baseball, and I mean this year you got the Olympics. August?
Yeah, I feel like
which some of them are fun to watch. Some I know it's not for everyone, but it's fun to turn it on and see some Olympics.
I completely forgot that was this summer. I think the Olympics does a great job of marketing it like a year out, and
then they forget.
And then it's like, oh yeah, we're halfway through the Olympics, and this and this has happened.
But yeah, so today we got some fun stuff on tap. We got the NBA Finals. Talking about that, Celtics commanding lead. Stanley Cup, got 2 games under our belt for that. As we're getting halfway into the baseball season, All-Star break coming up, biggest surprises. And then Chase, I think, is going to break down the NASCAR race at Sonoma that happened, kind of clue the audience and Ryan and I into how that race went.
But to start it off real quick, breaking news about Joey Chestnut. What are your thoughts? I know this is just exploding right now on social media. Probably like maybe top like 40 sport in the U.S. in regards to
top 40.
Top 40 with hot dog
39.
Hot dog eating contests. I guess hot dog eating is the sport. But I mean, I think it's pretty clear out of all sports ever, Joey Chestnut is like the GOAT of eating hot dogs in a short amount of time. What are you guys' thoughts of him being banned for promoting a plant-based competitor of Nathan's?
I have no words, honestly.
Any comment, Ben?
I mean, it's Nathan's event, so I'm not surprised. I could care less either way, but it is what it is. I think they've done that before. I think there was someone else who was a champion that didn't sign a contract or something, and they also did that.
They said it would be like Michael Jordan choosing to brand with like Adidas like towards the end of his career. And Nike like being pissed about it.
I feel like it's more like Michael Jordan choosing to wear like Barcelona jerseys while he was on the Wizards.
I like that. It's still a little weird. I mean, it's presented by Nathan's, but like what the NBA finals, I don't know who they're presented by, probably State Farm this year. Like what if you went and did a Geico commercial, are you not gonna be able to play in the NBA finals? So
I mean the UFC, if they have their exclusive drinks like Prime now, if a fighter were to like try to promote one, they get shut down hard. I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I know the hot dog eating official contest isn't until the July 4th weekend, but anyone you guys are going to be rooting for now that Joey Chestnut's out?
Couldn't tell you another name.
Anyone else in the field.
Yep, couldn't tell you another name.
Neither can I. All right.
Hey, if I'm a competitor,
nuts.
if I'm a competitor in that contest, I'm feeling good right now.
Yeah,
really good.
He's won 8 straight, so this will be someone's basically first win in a decade. So
yeah, that's crazy.
So All right, well let's get into it. NBA Finals, Celtics up 2 games, 2-0. They're going to Dallas. I mean, this is not surprising. That team's so complete. They're getting contribution. I mean, when you have Drew Holiday doing what he's doing, it's going to be hard to beat that team. I mean, Luka is clearly hurt, and Kyrie hasn't necessarily played up to, the
Kyrie has not been shining.
No,
and he's known for. I'm not going to call him a choke artist in any means because he's known for being like one of the most clutch players of our generation. For sure, has not shined at all. And I mean, the Celtics, Jaylen Brown, Drew Holiday, they have great elite wing defenders who can guard, multiple positions. But Kyrie's better than anyone can ever defend. So,
yeah. Question for you guys: I saw Jason Kidd after I think it was game 2. He said that Jaylen Brown's the best player, is the Celtics' best player. No, basically no doubt. Do you guys agree with that?
Yeah, I kind of agree with that.
Yeah, 100% yes. I've actually, being a Sixers fan, you just kind of always hate on Tatum, but I feel like I don't know the reasoning for. I don't know if I would feel like this at all when Pippen played with Jordan, because I feel like Pippen was really good. But there's certain levels of certain players. But with Tatum and Brown, when they're out there, when you watch Celtics games, it never feels like Tatum is the leader or like he takes over moments or games. And Brown, I feel like not only can hit big shots, but he does it on the defensive end even better too. And he's also really quiet. Big reason probably why Chase, we talked about this, they've both been playing together for 7 years now. A big reason probably why they're able to do it is because they're not loud and controversial and creates drama.
Well, there's a bunch of stuff that came out with Jaylen Brown. He's a single dude who is kind of a nerd. He's does chess and he's just kind of sticks to himself, does his own thing, and it's really educated dude and just enjoys basketball. So
God, I hate him.
Bro, I don't mind. Okay, I don't mind.
I like him more than Tatum.
Yes.
Yeah.
I actually don't mind him.
Too.
You remember when all the Ben Simmons drama was going on and they talked about doing him for Jaylen Brown straight up? That would have been nuts. And at that time, Simmons wasn't not playing yet, and Brown wasn't as good as he was. That would have been a huge.
That would have been nice.
It would have been really nice. But yeah, the problem is I'm rooting for the Mavericks, but I still really don't like Luka. And on the Celtics, I don't mind Jaylen Brown. Chase, I know you hate him, but I also really like Drew Holiday, probably because he played on the Sixers for so many years. But they have some players that I don't mind, but I still don't like the team.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't flat out hate Jaylen Brown like I do other people. It's more just annoying. I can't stand playing him because he's good. And every time you think that Tatum's going to take over a game, it's usually Brown. And then Tatum does work in the fourth quarter just to make it acceptable. But otherwise, it was Brown the entire game making plays. And even defensively, too, he can make a play when they need it.
Is Brown on pace right now to be the MVP?
It's close because, with Drew Holiday's game 2, you could probably make the argument he's in the conversation.
If they give it to Derek White, I'm never going to watch an NBA Finals again.
That'd be kind of cool.
Hey, Andre Iguodala won it on the Golden State Warriors in 2015. You don't know. It'd be kind of
cool if Drew Holiday won.
Yeah, I would definitely be cool with that. But
probably going to be Brown or Tatum. But.
Yeah. I said it last week, and I'm sticking to it, and now everyone can be like, oh, yeah, well, the Celtics are up 2-0. I sat here last week in front of this mic and said, must win game 1 for the Dallas Mavericks. If they do not win game 1, they have no shot to win the series. And here we are. They didn't win game 1. They already lost game 2. Now people are going to say, oh, well, this is a must win because you can't go down 3-0. It doesn't matter. They already lost the series. Unless Tatum and Brown go down, I don't care about Kristaps Porzingis' super rare, weird injury that he's day-to-day with. He's been in and out all playoffs long. And
he's the main reason for me. I want the Mavs to win. I don't want him to get a ring.
Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't deserve a ring.
Oh gosh, I know. And like someone like Drew Holiday does, but he already got one on the Bucks. So like,
Yeah. So it doesn't matter. So Boston doesn't need to win.
He's a good like career Wizards player at this point. Where Porzingis can team up with Jordan Poole and win 30 games.
wasn't he already there?
Yeah, he was. He should go back. He was there.
So, but I mean, thoughts like, are you both on the same page? The series is over. Like the Mavericks, I'm saying they're getting one win.
Yeah, I can see one win. I want them desperately to win both home games.
I think I'm gonna say 4-2. I think Celtics. I think they're gonna win at least one of these at home. And then
the frustrating part is the Celtics had such an easy road to get here, and I talked about before the NBA season started, during the NBA season, and when we made our NBA brackets, like I still didn't think the Mavericks were a team to win. So it's just like, okay, yeah, they beat great teams to get in the finals, but I'm nowhere near convinced that they're able to take down like a fully complete juggernaut team in the Celtics that have been like the number one team 5 out of the last 5 years in the East.
They've been so healthy. Like just it's weird to say that as an NBA team, but for the majority of the year, they have been fairly healthy.
Yeah. Plays a big part.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we'll see. I think game 3 and 4 will be throughout this week. And then, I mean, the NBA finals could be over before the weekend if the Mavs don't get it together. Just got to figure out a game plan. I mean, they use their bigs. It's like a Miami Heat team with LeBron or like the Golden State Warriors team. Like they have to figure out a way to use their bigs to be semi-efficient. They're not all-stars in any way, but you know, the Warriors, the Heat, they found ways in those runs without successful big guys that Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford and even Kleba. I feel like he missed a good chunk of time in the playoffs too, but also don't like him. But he's a guy that can spread the floor and he's huge. So I don't know. Jason Kidd I feel like he's not that great of a coach, but he's got to try to pull some strings. I don't think he's a bad coach necessarily, but
better than Doc.
Yeah.
True.
But
all right, well let's dive into the other championship going on. We got the Stanley Cup. That's 2 games in now. Panthers I saw 1-0 Oilers last night. I got excited, and then just immediately, Panthers started dominating the game.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely say if you looked at the goals for each team, it's a little misleading just because the Panthers have gotten puffy pants them in the last few minutes of each game. So it was just empty net goals, but and really Edmonton last night was dominating. They had a lot of pressure on Florida, but Florida just again doesn't take a lot for them to score. When they do, it happens quick. And they've just been finding random people to like keep them hot. Like it hasn't been consistently like one person in and out. Whereas maybe with Edmonton, McDavid's been taking on so much that I kind of feel like if he would let a little bit more else happen around him, they'd probably have a little more success. And I think they haven't won a game so far when Leon Draisaitl doesn't have a point, and he doesn't have a point yet. But they're a team too where when they start scoring, it's going to come in bunches. So they could really light it up here. And it's a tough way to start being down 2-0, but
so it's saying there's a chance.
Yeah. And it's just funny too, because Ryan, you brought up over the weekend how McDavid and Kyrie are kind of similar in that they're just dynamos when they have the puck or the ball in their hand. Like it's really unbelievable what they're able to do in short amount of spaces and just being able to score. And they're both now down 2-0, but they both have the opportunity to take over a game and put their teams back in it. So it's really kind of the similar story. And Edmonton has had a lot of failure in the playoffs leading into this where they just kept bottoming out, but they're a little bit different this year. They've been tested in each round so far, maybe outside of the first round, but they've always seemed a way to just find a way to come back. And I wouldn't say they're totally dead in the water, but if they come home and lose game 3, it's gonna be almost impossible to come back from that.
Yeah. I feel like out of all sports, obviously there's a lot of best of 7 series in the NHL and the NBA, but baseball has them too. Out of those 3, I feel like hockey for sure is the most unpredictable. Like legit, you have to win your 4 games. It's not, oh, I can go up 2-0, 3-1, 3-0 and be comfortable. I mean, Florida was dominant last year, Chase. You said they lost in the Stanley Cup Finals, ran it back, same juggernaut squad, doing work up 2-0. I'm with you. I don't think Celtics being up 2-0, it just feels over for me. But in hockey, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm a Flyers fan and we experienced the 3-0 being down against Boston, the Boston Bruins back in the 2010s. 2010, maybe that happened. I forget which year exactly. But it just feels like in hockey, I don't know, all the games are low scoring. You really have to grind out every win. Like, there's no, oh yeah, this is an offensive blowout. Like in the NBA, you can pour on the threes. In the MLB, you can hit 3 home runs in 3 innings and get a lead with a good bullpen. But hockey, it's like, no, you can maybe go up 3-4-0, but it takes a lot of work to get there. And Edmonton's been in both games. I've watched a little bit so far, and if they win, I mean, obviously they don't want to go down 3-0, right? But for sure, not over by any means from my perspective.
Yeah. What are the odds that the Oilers have had like 2 generational talents? Like
I don't know. It's actually really crazy.
Like the fact that Gretzky and then McDavid, who's, I mean, probably like the generational talent of this generation, right? Like,
yeah. I mean, yeah, he's like, if there's like 3 guys, he's one of those 3.
Yeah. It's just
easily.
Yeah.
Are you saying like because
that's just so lucky for like Gretzky's probably like go, and I feel like I know enough about the hockey to know McDavid's probably already like a top 20 to 30 player of all time. I feel like, is that accurate?
Oh, yeah. And if he just gets a cup, he's like just elevating his status.
So I mean, he's still earlier in his career. I don't know. It just feels
how old is he? Do you know, Chase?
He got drafted in 2015, I think. So
So he's like the next wave after the Ovechkins and the Crosbys and the Giroux.
Yeah. I mean, that was the year. Like, if you were a team that sucked, you wanted McDavid because you knew it was going to change your team. And I mean, it's taken Winnipeg a while to do it, but they're here.
Yeah.
And you can't say that McDavid hasn't lived up to like any of his hype. Like, I would say Austin Matthews probably lived up to a lot of the hype so far too, being a number 1 overall pick. But they can't win in the playoffs, so like they keep bottoming out. So I guess it's not always about like having a top 3 guy, but it definitely helps you if you have a guy like that. Like, how many years did Malkin and Crosby just carve up the Eastern Conference? Like, but yeah, it's gonna be exciting though, because I feel like Edmonton was playing a little bit better last night, and if they can just get home, get those fans behind them, make Florida be on the one who has to travel now, because it's a far distance, basically going from Florida to almost outside of Alaska. So I don't know, like
that's insane.
Yeah,
that's
insane. The biggest ever, or like the biggest distance ever between 2.
It has to be
teams.
That's
in the NHL.
crazy.
Like they had time, Edmonton, but that's still hard to do, especially with the pressure. It's not like you were just like, oh, we're gonna fly here for an East Coast trip, play all the Florida teams, fly back. Like, you're here for the Stanley Cup, so I feel like the pressure and the time. So we'll see if it's the same for Florida going that way now.
Yeah.
And seeing what that's like.
The stadium in Edmonton is probably gonna be nuts.
Yeah, it's been crazy all playoffs. Like, and they've been down in games and come back to win when I didn't think they have a shot. Like, there was plenty of times where I fell asleep and they were down losing to Vancouver, came back and they won, and they demolished them. Like, it was 3-0 Vancouver, and then I woke up and it was 5-3 Edmonton. So it's crazy.
Well, I haven't followed much with the playoffs, but I'm definitely trying to tune in for some of these Stanley Cup games.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. You're a 1 unit bet of
Oh,
picking
yeah.
all the champions. Of,
Yeah.
Still got a 513 cash out now. It went up after they lost. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Oilers and Celtics for Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just a lot of great players to watch. Like, I feel like hockey players aren't that hyped up as much as NBA or all the other sports. So it's hard to know who all you're getting. But between Kachuk leading Florida and McDavid on the other side, it's just a spectacle to watch those two put in the work that they do. Because it's really unbelievable. Like, just to see McDavid on plays and how he set up the goal last night. I mean, he can literally shut you down defensively, shut down two guys at once, and then get the puck out, or just be the guy who's doing it against two guys in the offensive zone and score. So it's outrageous.
Well, appreciate it, Chase. I know the Stanley Cup, while Ryan and I have some knowledge with hockey, it's definitely not quite up to where yours is at. So we appreciate it.
Yeah. It's all right.
With some of the players, at least. So,
yeah.
Well, let's shift over. We got All-Star break is coming up for baseball. And I think we're going to touch on just a couple of biggest surprises that we've maybe seen or thought of.
Is the All-Star break already almost here, actually?
Yeah, it's about a month away, a little less. Wow. So they got the All-Star ballots all out. Be some names that probably shouldn't be on there. I got two surprises I could start with, and if anyone else has anything, go ahead.
Number one.
So we got first of all, Royals 39-27. I think last I looked, I think they're in first place. One of the biggest reasons for that is Mr. Sal Perez. He's having a big bounce back year. 2023, he was one of probably the worst catchers in baseball, just really bad defensively, really just didn't hit well.
I thought he was done. Done. Like,
no, it seemed like
he's old.
Done.
He was, catchers don't last as long. I thought he was shot.
Yeah, and one of the big reasons I think for that this year is their backup catcher, Fermin. Yeah. They've really platooned Perez a lot more in the field, so he's been playing a lot more at first, DHing some, and just not catching the same amount of games, which at his age I think has really helped his bat. I mean, he still chases like he always does, but he's hitting 290 right now. He's providing that team a spark along with Bobby Witt, and they're riding high.
Second place in the wild card right now, and I mean, the way the AL is playing out, if they have finished with a winning record, they'll get a playoff spot.
Yeah, and they have one of the best rotations in the league. I mean, Seth Lugo has been phenomenal for them. Cole Reagans has been phenomenal for them, both of which were just under the radar signings. Lugo was a pretty cheap free agent signing, and Reagans was the trade for Aroldis Chapman last year from the Rangers. So they're just putting some pieces together, and they're looking in it. They're in a good spot, a pretty weak division, with the White Sox in there who are bad. They're so bad. So bad.
Number two.
The other one was Jurickson Profar.
Yes, I'm hyped you brought him up.
So he's I think 2012, 2013. He was like 2 years in a row consensus like number one overall prospect. Like the next can't miss thing. Keith Law was like basically the most, like just basically a guaranteed all-star, guaranteed star when he hits the MLB. He had like one decent year as a rookie. Then he came out and had like, I think 2 back-to-back injury years. And he kept bouncing around. Basically seemed like he was done, almost out of the league because he played terrible last year. Was in the minors a lot, and basically it seemed like, from what I heard, Tatis and Tatis's dad worked with him in the offseason, like with his swing, and they were the reason like the Padres even re-signed him, because they re-signed him to a minor league deal with a spring training invite, basically. And he's just been, he's been on his, he's been phenomenal. He's almost up to his career high in WAR, and we're not even at the All-Star break. So I'm happy to see him, a top prospect, finally have a good year, even though he's, I think, 31 now. He's not that old, but he came up in the league so young. So,
yeah, Yeah, I remember last year he was using the World Baseball Classic as like a tryout, basically, and then he got the deal with the Rockies and didn't do anything with them.
Yeah, no, he was terrible with the Rockies, and you think he's probably done, like Ryan said, because that's one of the worst teams in the league, and you can't. Yeah, Coors Field too. Like you have a lot of things working for you. You got, you're a veteran who doesn't have the same. You're not battling for a starting job the same. You're on a bad team. You're in the Coors Field and didn't get it done. So
yeah, I thought he shot. I took a risk with him in our fantasy baseball league, and I hit, but.
I've been awful in fantasy baseball this year, just absolutely awful.
Those guys are like what makes baseball so hard. I mean, like you think about it, there's only 30 teams. Yeah, there's a million farm teams, but it's so easy to just bounce around in the transaction life. And especially when you're a top prospect like that, it would have been so easy for him to get to the point where he just rolled over and basically career dead. So big shout out to Tatis. That's pretty cool. Tatis is like not a fan favorite at all. A lot of controversy surrounds him.
And he's having a good year too.
Yeah. And yeah, he's been injured, and some of those injuries he maybe or maybe not could have avoided. And then also like the Padres have been disappointing in general. So for the fact that him and his dad, pushed and got Profar in a spot where not only has made him as successful as a player, but the team a lot better. I know the Padres, I think they're playing 500 ball right now, but their division's been underachieving across the board. So they're in second with a chance at a wild card run. I don't think they would sell, and I feel like Profar is a big reason why. I like that.
You never know what the Padres are going to do. Padres are always wild cards.
They're about to give away all their prospects somehow.
Yeah, they got a couple back from Soto and everything. They're just going to give them right back.
Yeah.
So, did you have anything as far as anything for you guys?
I would definitely have to say the Athletics aren't as hot garbage as I thought they were going to be.
Agree.
That's probably one. Number two, for the Baltimore Orioles, Cedric Mullins has been in a slump for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
And I didn't know this, but he's the only guy in Orioles history to be a 30-30 player, which seems kind of crazy. It seems like they would have more than one.
I'm surprised
one.
Adam Jones wasn't. I feel like
Adam Jones wasn't. Like, there was so many people I thought of.
Probably had like 30 and 28.
Yeah, it's crazy. And he was through the Orioles when they were just, a hot piece of trash or just a piece of fruit left in the sun. They were just not good. And he was the only bright spot of their whole team. And now that they're finally good, he sucks. And I just feel bad for him because I don't know what happened, but it's like they have this curse where one good player just eats it. It was Chris Davis, and now somehow that's worn off, and Cedric Mullins caught the bug.
Chris Davis.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I'll tell you what's not a surprise, and it's the freaking NL Central being completely upside down again. This division, I'm almost at the point where they should just put the A's in there and then just delete the division from baseball and just bring in new teams. I mean,
well, it used to be that division plus the Astros.
Yeah, and it was still garbage then. The NL Central makes no sense to me. Yelich has been, I feel like, up and down the last few years, along with the Brewers as a team. Wouldn't expect them in first right now. The best rotation in that division, the best pitching, I think, is the Pittsburgh Pirates. They're in dead last because they can't generate offense. And once again, Ke'Bryan Hayes has been pretty much a disappointment so far, I think. And then
he's going to win a Gold Glove again, though.
The biggest one is the freaking Cardinals. This is why I didn't touch them for a bet at all this year, because even though they have Goldschmidt and Arenado, and I feel like they have a decent team that can make a run at a wild card spot minimum. They were in the wild card, I think, a couple years ago, 2 years ago against the Phillies. And since then, they've completely just dump trucked their team without getting rid of anyone. And it makes no sense to me. And I basically just hate the NL Central, and I'm not surprised about
it. I'll say two things on that. One, Ke'Bryan Hayes, first of all, is second on their team in WAR because his defense is so crazy. So I'm just gonna
but they don't.
I know.
They
I'm
can't
just saying,
generate
though,
offense.
and I think I said it last year that Arenado, once he lost, he's done, and he lost last year. Brian Hayes probably now Arenado won it for like 8 years straight. Now probably Brian Hayes is going to win it for like 8 to 10 years straight.
Is he that good?
Yeah.
Can you give me his offensive
He
stat
can't
line?
even hit the air though. That annoys
Well,
me.
he's hitting 253 with 2 homers.
Okay, 253 is not as bad as I thought.
2 homers. Come on, doggy.
His not. I mean, he had 15 last
too.
year, but that was the only year he's ever hit more than 10 home runs.
God, his awesome.
The other thing I was going to say is the Brewers are definitely surprising because they come in the offseason. Mets get David Stearns, who's like the guy that creates, who's one of the geniuses, as so-called, in the front office. And then they trade away Corbin Burns, who's the ace of the staff, to the Orioles. And then here they are still in first place. So definitely not
so unpredictable.
Definitely didn't see that coming.
The definition of basically like the MLB in a given year can be like the NL Central in the last 2 seasons.
But they definitely hit a little bit because even in that trade, they got back DL Hall, who's been like, I don't even know how much he's pitched, but Joey Ortiz won Rookie of the Month, I think, for May.
Yeah.
The Brewers, so.
Yeah, and Wilson Contreras has been probably arguably the best catcher in the league, at least hitting wise.
Yeah.
I mean, to have right now in this league, to have a catcher hitting over 300 is a luxury that probably one other team, maybe 2, have in all of baseball. Like I don't even know if Adley Rutschman, Perez isn't even hitting 300.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
100% he's not.
90%
100% he's not hitting 300.
Also, Adley Rutschman is not confirmed. Oh, no, you're right. He has been in a slump. Okay, I back out.
Well, I'm just going to bring this up while we're talking baseball quick. I was looking Corey Lewis. We had him on the podcast. I wanted to bring him up. He is back. He had a little bit of an injury. I don't know what it was. Looks like he's back on the injured list, actually, now that I'm just...
He's on the 60-day IL,
but he had a start in rookie ball. He had 2 starts. I think they were working him back.
Okay,
5 innings of 1-run ball, 7 Ks, and then he had another start in
7 Ks. Okay.
He had a start in single A, 3 innings, a hit, no runs, and 3 Ks. So 8 innings of 1-run ball. But I see now that
dang, he's just dealing with injuries. That's a shame.
Injury. So unfortunate. We were hoping we could maybe see him crack the majors this year. It would have been cool, but hopefully he'll get off the injury bug soon. I don't know the issue. It doesn't say, but maybe
there's not an injury report for.
Yeah, we need to find a Twins insider.
Yeah,
it should. I mean, we could always just ask Corey Lewis.
We could ask Corey Lewis, yeah, but we'll have to look at another time.
Yeah, we'll have that guy dive into that at a later time.
So. Yeah, I think that's about all I got baseball wise. Francisco Alvarez is coming back today, so I'm pretty hyped about that. He's been missed for sure, and I'm interested to see what the Mets do. As we'll talk more after the All-Star break, but they might try to trade Pete Alonso, and that'll be interesting to see kind of how that.
That's crazy to me.
Down. He's a Scott Boras client, so Scott Boras is going to try to, wring the Mets like a sponge for all the money. And you like Alonso as a franchise player, but is he going to be worth $250 million? I don't necessarily agree with that. He's as many home runs as he hit. He is not a clutch player. Just watching enough Mets games, he's just not a clutch hitter. He's not who you want up there. In that situation. So, it'll be interesting if they better get a good return if they trade him. They need some pitching or something like that.
Yeah.
But all right, we can move on. I think we got NASCAR. Chase is gonna kind of lead this as we get into what we got. Sonoma.
Yeah, Sonoma. Sonoma. This was another road course. I think it's the second one on the year. And overall, I would say the race delivered. I was a little bit in and out watching it just because of the time. But Kyle Larson got back on his horse, finally back, able to stretch those legs out and got a win. just showing his domination this year again. I mean, he's split a little bit of time doing IndyCar a few weeks ago. That was a big spectacle, and then just showing he's still uber locked in at this position. So got in, did his thing, got the win. Christopher Bell, let's go on the season of the playoffs right now. Number 1, Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, William Byron, Christopher Bell still running strong in that number 4 spot.
Dang, okay.
Yeah, so this is the for the race. Chris Buescher, again, this guy's been pretty hot ever since the Kansas race. I mean, he's really just put himself up there in a position to have a good, just building a really strong season. I mean, the Fords didn't really start off that great this year, and he's really been consistent these last few weeks. Christopher Bell, top 10 finish, gotta like that. Really showing his versatility on this year, which is big for him. I mean, this is a big year. I feel like it's gonna be intense, but I feel like he's got the stuff to do it, and it helps when he had a race like this where Denny Hamlin didn't finish. Ty Gibbs, who was absolutely dominating on Saturday. I mean, he is outrageous on road courses. Also, yeah, just all these guys just really didn't have good luck. Denny Hamlin, I think he only got 2 laps in and his engine blew up, so he did not do too hot.
What's DVP mean?
I actually don't know what DVP is.
Did he have an accident, or did he just?
Yeah, I think he was just out.
Okay.
It was in the time where I was jumping in and out. But William Byron, again, some of these guys who are top 10 points wise, not finishing so hot in this race definitely helps out Christopher Bell moving forward. So, on the Busch side, for the race underneath on Saturday, it was actually pretty interesting because, like I said, Ty Gibbs was doing really well, and Shane Van Gisbergen, he was like a Australian racer. There's like a lot of hype behind him, and he finally got a road win, and he drove around the end, just drifting around all the corners, which seems insanely hard to do in a cup car, just because it's really not meant to do that. But he was, instead of just doing an actual burnout, he just went drifting around the entire road course. And I was like, oh my God, that's pretty legit. That's one way to flex that you're not only good at a road course, but you can do it while drifting too.
Dang.
In a car that's not meant to be drifted. So, good for him. I feel like that was a big win for him, obviously, as he splits time between both. But for him to build on just coming to like a whole new organization with different cars and racing and having success is kind of cool. It's always neat to see. I was rooting for the NASCAR guys when they go out and do other sports, so it's nice to see someone else come in and also have the same amount. But got to bring up, there's a little bit of an undercurrent going on with this season, and it's the fact that at the end of the year, technically every one of these teams is going to not be a part of NASCAR unless they renew their charter agreement. So it's just one of those things where they had a media rights deal, and now they're trying to work out how many teams and what they're going to do, because one of the teams is folding up, Stewart-Haas Racing. They're closing. They just don't really care about NASCAR anymore, so they want to get rid of it. Mm-hmm. And that's going to leave some guys who have ran pretty well this year without jobs. And it also it leads to the fact of who knows what teams are going to basically come out of this, where it used to be a lot of one-car teams and smaller teams. Now it's just kind of dominated by 5 or 6 teams mostly. So it's kind of weird how NASCAR does it. NASCAR is owned by one family. They're not beholden to a big conglomerate or a corporation. It's really just been a family that's run NASCAR ever since. And there's no unions. There's really no part of it. It's more just agreements that NASCAR has with all these teams to run at the tracks that they own most of them. So they're really kind of double dipping in the fact, and they always just hide behind that they don't get as much money for broadcasting rights as the NBA or baseball or football, but it really does matter. Sure. Yeah, it's just kind of weird that this is all happening, and they're just holding the teams hostage right now. And then there's guys who are out of a job. So it's kind of weird how NASCAR does it. I really didn't know all this stuff. But it's just coming more to the light because Denny Hamlin has his own podcast. He's also been racing forever, and he also owns his own team now. So he really just doesn't give a shit, and he's willing to just say whatever is on his mind and pretty much willing to put it out there just to give NASCAR not as much negotiating room, and they can't cry about having not enough money to support all this because, I mean, they definitely don't make as much money as they were in the early 2000s, but they're definitely making money because they weren't getting $7 billion to broadcast their races in 2001, but they're getting it now. So they're still getting money.
Yeah. It's not as popular, but the money's definitely there more than ever. Like, I mean, it's kind of like what we talked about with the WNBA. I mean, it's not that popular, but the money can be there.
Yeah, and it's definitely going to rebound at some point too. It's getting popular. They have their own Netflix series. And the biggest thing I think that kept them afloat forever was tobacco and beer. And then once tobacco kind of got vilified and it got out of NASCAR, because I listened back to old races and it was crazy that, you know, Marlboro cigarettes would give away $1 million like almost every week to a race fan.
Oh my gosh.
And like fly them out for the weekend. You meet drivers, you get all these like perks and benefits that I don't hear about now anymore, but it's almost just like it's only a matter of time before marijuana companies start getting in there and then start, you know, using it to get rid of advertising money. I mean, it'll go back. Alcohol never left, but there's definitely going to be a way in for even technology companies. Like, it's definitely not the same sponsorship wise as it was. Like, you could just rely on one sponsor taking you all season. Now it's a mix mash of a bunch of different people, but I don't know. It just, they make it seem like they're going to fold as an entire organization. There's no way that could happen. So it's just going to be a weird little side story that's going to be happening essentially the rest of the year up until January 1st.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, there's within racing, I'm not even like a huge racing fan, but yet like there are like, I feel like I could think of right now 10 different racing leagues, like off the top of my head, depending on the car or, you know, the company or whoever it may be that runs it or that the drivers race. And it's clear that NASCAR is number one by a mile. So
I think F1's number one.
Oh, F1.
I don't know. Would you say they're above NASCAR?
Has F1 passed NASCAR?
Yeah. I would say F1 just because it's global. They race literally all over the world, whereas NASCAR is pretty much continental U.S. Like, they have international drivers, but I would definitely say, and F1 got bought by a corporation, like, I don't know, like not that long ago. So they're almost financially driven to grow now at this point.
Well, the money in F1's pretty crazy too.
Yeah, it's insane, and that's why Stewart Haas is also in F1, and they're literally just closing up because there's more of.
That's why.
Just more. Yeah, like they're in so many other racing leagues, so it's just taking up so much time, and the two people that they have running it just aren't determined to stay in NASCAR. Like,
that makes sense.
Yeah, which sucks because Tony Stewart's a legend. I mean, I grew up watching him. He was no doubt one of the best ever in NASCAR, but he just doesn't want to be a team owner in NASCAR. So I kind of blame that on NASCAR having this dumb setup where it's like you're losing people because it's too expensive, or they just don't have any interest in growing it because you're not making it beneficial for them to grow.
Yeah. Dang. I appreciate that, Chase. Definitely clued me in on something that I didn't know about. So
yeah. I'll have to follow that too. I'm sure, like, as the season gets closer and goes into the end, it might heat up a little bit, but yeah. I mean, that shows you how much I don't follow racing. I completely forgot about F1 for a second there. I wasn't thinking globally in that sense, but I feel like NASCAR, like the brand, everything about it. I mean, I still see like Sunoco's and I just think like NASCAR. I don't know, like filling up gas. You know what I mean? Like, so.
Yeah, and it's a transition period. Like, they lost a lot of their big names. So, like, once Jeff Gordon and Dale Earnhardt Jr. retired and Kevin Harvick, all the big crop of guys that were rookies 20 years ago are gone now. So they're really trying to find a new identity in a way and people to hitch their wagon to. And I don't know. It's not like they haven't done this before and they've always had to do this. They've been around since 1949. So they've done it in some way, shape, and form, and it's always changed. So
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, should we? I guess we could do the Immaculate Grid, and then we have a special thing we'll have to do at the end, but we could do the Immaculate Grid now.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, probably should wrap up the show first, right?
Yeah, I mean, for the YouTube people, they'll be hanging around. For Spotify,
Apple Podcasts, RSS,
Amazon,
Samsung.
Yeah. We'll see you guys next time.
Yeah. Ben Ryan Chase out. Peace.
No, don't worry. We're still here.
No music.
Oh, I don't know, Ryan. I didn't know we wanted music.
No, we don't need music.
I was trying to get the Immaculate Grid up.
I respect the hustle.
It's too late. Oh, it went right to WNBA for some reason.
Oh, definitely. I was trying to skip that last week, and there was literally someone that asked.
You know who it was, you fucker. All right, let's go baseball first. Wait, Case can see. Yeah.
Okay.
No, we can't.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything right now.
Let's see. Can you see now?
Oh, yeah, now we're good.
Okay.
Oh, hell yeah, Chase, you're in.
All right.
Oh, I feel like
Speaking of those Royals, we were just
I feel like you have to go Sal. The bottom. What's this percent going to be?
It's going to be high. That's fine. I have a low percentage for this one. Cade Casali. Oh, it's Kurt. I think it's Kurt Casali. Oh, let's go. I pulled this big card of him one time, and I remember him in a Reds jersey. That's the only reason I know.
Oh, hell yeah. I was going to say Devin Mesoraco.
Oh, that's a good one, too.
Does he have 300 home runs?
No, definitely not.
No.
Definitely not. Mike Piazza.
I don't even know if he has 3 home runs.
There's probably only like 5 catchers who have over 300, actually.
How many does Carlos Ruiz have?
I don't think he has 300.
I don't know. All right, Casey, Arizona. I feel like a middle infielder type, like a Omar Infante or somebody like that.
Martin Prado or something like that.
Yeah, somebody like that. It's got to be.
Yeah. Was Brandon Phillips ever on the Diamondbacks and Reds? I know he was on the Reds. Was he ever on the Diamondbacks?
I don't think the Diamondbacks.
We can knock out 300.
This is a really tough 4 teams.
Just an Upton. I was actually low-key thinking about Kansas City, Arizona, one of the Upton brothers. Did BJ play on? Wait, is it BJ or is it Melvin?
I don't know which one he is.
Okay.
I don't know about Kansas City. That's the only thing. What about like Jackie Bradley Jr.? Didn't he have a stint on Kansas City?
I think so.
I low-key like
Sounds
Omar
familiar.
Infante.
You want to try Omar Infante here?
I forget where he ended up going though. I think he was with KC, but I don't know what he did after that.
Sketchy.
Why don't we try Tigers? We could do Miggy.
He played a while though.
Yeah. I mean, oh my gosh, Tigers.
Wait, KC, Arizona.
Oh,
didn't Greinke? Greinke.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that would have been such a bad miss.
Was Sonny Gray on the? Sonny Gray wasn't on the Tigers, was he? I don't think he was.
No.
That would have been such a bad miss. What about Matt Harvey?
Eric
Tigers, Reds.
Diamondbacks, Reds. Wasn't Eric Burns?
Probably.
Oh, I don't fucking know. Who were you saying? Sorry.
Matt Harvey for the Tigers, Reds.
Matt Harvey?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No? Are you sure?
No, I'm not sure about that one.
Tiger Reds. Good God. What?
What about like who else played on the Royals? Like Lorenzo Cain. I guess he never stopped in Detroit.
No, he's on the Brewers.
Aroldis Chapman. Who were some?
James Shields, was he ever on?
Oh,
he might have been on the Diamond.
James Shields is a good name. I was trying to think of starting pitchers. Who is their young?
James Shields.
I don't remember anyone from those 2015 Royals teams that beat the Mets.
Giordano Ventura,
Yeah, Eric Hosmer was on the team. Alex Gordon,
Jeremy Guthrie, maybe.
Jeremy Guthrie could have been.
God, who was that other Danny Duffy?
Danny Duffy.
Yeah.
Any comments?
I think they had
Any comments anywhere?
No, I don't think so. They had the guy who was on the Mets and the Phillies, super old dude. Looked like he was like a professor. I forget his name now.
God damn it.
He was a professor?
Yeah, he looked. You'd know who I was talking about if I don't remember his name. He was on the Mets and then he was also on the Phillies. Like, we might have to put some rando.
Start guessing.
All right, what about our old time relievers? What do we got?
Reds, Diamondbacks, or
Is
Bronson,
Roy in this anywhere?
Antonio
Octavio Dotel,
maybe, or Dotel. Yeah,
Dotel I know was with Detroit for a fact.
Okay. I think Antonio Fonseca wasn't. I feel like he was with the Reds.
I just remember him and his six fingers being on the Phillies.
I'm gonna go Dotel here. I feel like that could be an option. Let's go.
Oh my god!
Oh yeah! All right, we're not out yet.
We're not out yet.
What about your
Randy Wynn? Maybe.
What about your submarine guy, Chad Bradford?
I don't think so.
He was in Tigers.
I don't think he was on the Reds.
Yeah, he was.
I don't think so.
Oh,
I feel like you don't think so either.
Who else did the Reds have? They had Homer Bailey.
Was Mark Reynolds on the Reds and Diamondbacks?
I still like.
He was on the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, he was on the Diamondbacks. I'd be down to send that.
Where are the Diamondbacks and Reds?
Yeah.
For Arroyo? Is that what you think?
No, that's not what Chase said.
Oh, what did Chase say? Sorry.
Oh no, yeah, definitely. I think Arroyo actually did spend time with Arizona.
All right, let's do it.
Money.
Let's go.
I knew it.
Okay.
Who did you have? Did you have somebody for Cincinnati, Detroit?
I did not.
No, Ben. Who did you say right before the Arroyo thing?
The Troy Hawkins.
No, I didn't say.
No. Damn. Oh, Mark Reynolds.
Yeah, but he was with the Diamondbacks though. I don't think he was ever with the Tigers. What about like Juan Pierre or like
Brandon Phillips?
I said Brandon Phillips, but I don't think he was on the Tigers.
Yeah, I don't think he was on the Tigers.
Or Moustakis. Like rando.
What about the original Billy Hamilton?
The other Billy Hamilton could have been on the Tigers.
Yeah, honestly, maybe the other Billy Hamilton.
Yeah,
all right, fine.
Could be a move.
The new Billy Hamilton.
Let me think for like one more, like 30 more seconds, and then if not, I'm down to go Billy Hamilton. I'm trying to think deep into the. I can think of more Reds and Tigers.
Like CC Sabathia.
God, the Reds have been so bad. And same with the Tigers. Like,
yep.
And they both had people locked down positions for a while. Like, they both had stud first baseman forever.
Tucker Barnhart, was he ever on the Tigers?
Yeah, I think he was actually.
Let's do Tucker
Barnhart. My gosh.
Let's go.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Immaculate.
What a Nick Castellanos. That's kind of a brick.
Suarez. We hit the Greinke one.
Yeah. Dang, what was that was a good we pieced that one together.
That was nice. Good
I didn't think we were gonna
we were definitely on the ropes there for a minute.
Yeah. You pulled out some that I feel like normally we end up not getting.
I'm surprised with the Arroyo actually. I knew it was a pool.
Well, Barnhart also had a Diamondbacks hat on.
Oh. The question, that doesn't mean he played with them though, because
true. That could have been spring training, yeah.
Oh, too bad you can't do Ross.
God.
Well, 5,000 assists.
Oh,
do you think he does? Do you think he does? No, Chris Paul. Wait
for the which one though? Which one?
James Harden probably has 5,000, right?
You think James Harden does, but Westbrook doesn't?
Oh, back out. All right. Magic Johnson, top right.
Safe. You don't want to try Derek Fisher and see what happens.
Do you think Tracy McGrady has 5,000 assists?
He's probably here though.
Oh yeah, he's there.
Oh,
he's
on
there.
there.
Let's put him there.
Good
What about
hit.
Vince Carter?
Shaq is above Tracy. This Magic row is going to be terrible with our
What
percent.
about Vince Carter? Is he down here anywhere? Was he ever on the Clippers?
I don't remember him on the Clippers.
Penny Hardaway, was he ever on the Clippers?
No. You have like, DeAndre Jordan's bottom left. Clippers Nuggets. This year. He was there.
Rockets,
Jordan
Nuggets,
Clarkson.
isn't that Austin Rivers?
Where?
Who?
Nuggets, Rockets.
Oh yeah, Austin Rivers.
Oh, good hit, Chase.
We had to drop that percentage down a little bit.
Yeah.
Lakers Nuggets. We have to.
Oh,
hit
isn't
that.
KCP right here? Nuggets?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And
Oh, yeah.
CEN.
I just remember
State,
KCP's
yeah.
Lakers time where he was just on house arrest and could only play home games.
That was pretty funny. All right. I feel like Chris Paul's a shoe-in here, right? You feeling
Yeah.
good about Chris Paul?
Do it.
Okay.
So now you're allowed. It's either going to be Harden or Westbrook.
They both might have it. I feel more comfortable with Westbrook.
Okay. They
All
probably
right.
both have it.
All right, Magic Clippers. Definitely like a veteran wing guy.
Gary Harris.
I was thinking Gary Harris, but I don't know if he ever made it to the Clippers.
No, I don't think he played on the Clippers.
Luke
he was
Kennard.
on the Nuggets.
Landry Shamet.
Oh, man.
These are good
I'm just
guesses.
naming people.
No, I like it, but I don't think.
I don't think so either. Zuba.
You got to think of. I think the key here is to go Clippers players. You're naming Magic. I think the key to
No,
go.
Kennard and Shamet
Kennard.
are Clippers players.
Oh yeah,
Are they on the Magic too?
Yeah.
Because Magic. Oh my gosh, the Magic. Because now the Magic have had like the same team.
I know.
Yeah.
Now they just have draft picks.
Yeah, they have so many
And
young
Wendell
guys.
Carter Jr.
Yeah, they like 2 years ago were when like teams would like players would just pass through, but now they have like a core.
It's their championship. Did Dwight Howard ever play on the Clippers?
Ooh.
I don't know.
I don't think so. He wasn't. But that team, Turkoglu.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Great.
Hedo Turkoglu.
Let's go. What
JJ Redick.
Oh, JJ Redick, who's also on that team, I think, right?
Yeah. Also, we had like almost all of these. I forgot Anthony was on the Nuggets. It's kind of weird.
Oh yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Oh, the Hedo Turkoglu. He's
like it.
easily one of those guys that we would just randomly bring up.
Yeah.
All right, we're 18 for 18. You can't go women's basketball.
Okay, you want me to go football? I'll go there after.
Yeah.
Ooh. Ravens only one team. Oh, Ravens are in here.
Oh, Ravens only one team. Wow. Huh.
Did
Yeah.
Yeah, think about it.
Osweiler?
Then don't play the backup QB game right now with the Broncos. They've had like 800 of them.
All right. Ravens, Bucks, Ryan Jensen.
Love it.
All right. And Ravens, Commanders.
Thinking of like a Torrey Smith. I don't know if in the Commanders.
Yeah, I don't know if he ever ended up with. I'm gonna think Redskins exclusively.
What about football team?
No.
Chiefs.
Oh, I'm struggling with this one.
Oh yeah, I'm struggling.
Yeah, the Redskins. That column sucks. Oh wait, no. Hold on. Washington and the and Broncos.
Sorry. It's Alex Smith.
Wait. Which one?
He's
Alex
05 to
Smith.
2020
Yeah,
probably.
he was on
Who's
Washington
the other
and
one?
Chiefs, right?
Yes, but who's the other
I don't
Alex
know.
Smith?
It's a big percent. Sorry,
All
go
right.
ahead.
Washington, Broncos, Chump
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's a good one.
All right, now Washington and the Ravens. Still can't think of one.
What about Broncos? Only one team, Monty Ball.
Oh. It seems like it would hit.
No, I don't want to use that.
I don't know. Unless you.
I can literally only think of people who just got drafted like
Yeah.
within the last 4 years.
Oh, yeah.
What
just
about
do
Brandon
that.
McManus? Is he on still the Broncos? Or no, wait, he's out of the league.
He's been around.
Yeah.
That's true, Chase. Yeah, like Jerry Judy's safe unless.
Did
No,
just
he
get
went to
traded?
he got traded to the Browns this offseason though.
But he hasn't played yet.
So he's good.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
good.
I
I was a little nervous right there.
All right, only one team for the Ravens. Let's just do Mark Andrews. I feel like people won't pick him.
Let's go Rashee Rice.
Oh.
2 E's. Oh, you had it. Oh, you went
Oh
right?
my god.
All right, we're good.
All right,
not
Buccaneers, Broncos. I think that's John Lynch.
That's an H.
You're an H.
Who spells John Jon?
My friend from home played spelled that way.
Oh,
All right, Buccaneers, Chiefs.
sorry to all the Johns out there. Yeah, any John listening and spells your name like that, please don't.
What about
Leonard Fournette.
Sean McCoy ever have a stint on the Bucks?
No.
I think so, but I don't know now.
Thinking tight end. Or just backup QBs in general.
Face Daniel. No. Mike Allslot, work done.
Suck up might work in this one.
I like it.
I think. Don't kill me if he's not.
Oh,
Right,
good
good
hit.
hit, Chase.
Oh,
All
Chase, up to you.
All right. Ravens, Redskins. Oh god,
Everyone-
I'm
They
panicking.
did, because then we went back to a different one time.
Yeah.
Jesus. RG3.
Oh my gosh, that would have been a miss. The third.
Good hit.
Yeah.
Good
that
hit.
I would have put my Ravens card in if I didn't get that. Oh, McCoy was on the Bucks.
Oh.
Oh. That's a high
Bastard.
percent. Oh, it's clutch. We went Suck Up because the percent was better. I feel like I have to go like back to baseball or something and not. Or we just
How do you
end
keep it
it.
going?
We just end it.
We could end it clean. You could hit women's basketball real quick if
Just
you
hit
want.
it. Just hit it quick.
Oh my gosh, Deladon's team, but I don't know the spot.
Oh, this is kind of tough. This is a tough one.
All right, bounce.
No. I gotta
Bounce.
give it. I've been looking. I've been trying to do some WNBA research in general, like as I've been actually watching some games. This doesn't help me with some of these.
Bounce.
No, hold on. All right, we're gonna go. I don't know how to spell it. Wallen, I think. Oh yeah, Lindsay. Okay, she's a Hall of Famer.
She's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
She's not. Never mind. I'm just gonna not say anything.
probably a good idea.
Not
I
good.
was gonna say she works at the Hall of Fame.
Samuelson, I think is. Freak, is
There's
it Carly
two.
or
Are they
Katie Lou?
sisters?
Oh, let's go. It's hard. The Hall of Fame. It's a lot of like,
Tina Charles.
yeah, like even Sue Bird, who was Seattle, isn't a Hall of Famer because she just retired like 3 years ago. So
Yeah.
I think Becky Hammond is a Hall of Famer here, but she also fits here. Let's go Becky Hammond. Oh my gosh.
How can she be
Yeah.
77 there?
Because I think those are the only two teams she played for, I think. But she's also a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, that's what's weird.
Now is where it's a little sus. Because
Just hit the button. Hit the give up.
I hate to hit the button.
Fine. Top left, Ryan Howard.
No, she's on Atlanta. Yeah, you're probably right with like a Liz Cambridge somewhere in here. Like somewhere in there. I don't know where.
Just give up, Ben.
Lauren Jackson.
Oh,
Dang. That was a snipe.
You gonna say it yet?
what?
Nothing. Okay. I don't know any Liberty Hall of Famers after I think Becky Hammond,
Somebody named Jess. That's my guess.
Jess.
Like a Jessica.
Yeah, Jessica. Who had the longest career out of all the Jessicas.
Oof.
Wait, go up, go up. What about Jessica Davenport?
5-year career.
05 to 13, Jessica Moore.
Oh yeah.
Nope. It's worth a shot in the dark.
Prior here. Nope.
Nope.
All right, we'll give up. Tina Charles down here and here.
Aerial power.
How many are there? I guess would be my question for. Oh, there's only.
Oh my gosh.
5. Is it gonna actually show me?
Oh, it does.
Oh, Swin Cash.
Well, that's a name. Was that on our?
Yeah, that was on our list. Dang, Swin Cash.
Swin Cash only played for 3 years.
No, on the.
Oh, on the team. Okay.
No, I don't think so. She
But-
A 3-year
Wow.
Hall of Fame career.
Oh,
That's
dude.
amazing.
Oh my gosh.
she played. She played a ton. Dude, all right. All right. Well, we appreciate everyone who stuck around this long. We will be back next week, episode 69, and then schedule. I guess we'll talk. Schedule might get a little funky, as I know you guys have a trip and do some beach trips and stuff. So
Yeah, some fun things into work for AFR this summer, though.
oh, for sure.
So
Sure.
stay tuned. We'll be grinding.
Yeah, and we will see you guys on the next one.
Peace.
Ryan Chase out.
All right.
Slap those funky beats.
Yeah. Bounce out to this.